Productized digital marketing agencies are going to die. In fact, they may already be dead. In this video, I'm going to explain 5 reasons why I believe the next generations of agencies are going to be built off personal brands. They're going to be way more profitable, leaner teams, and the underdog is going to win in this because they're going to be truly led by real experts following a completely different model. So why do I believe this? So there's a few reasons, and I'm going to give you 5 today. And the first one is AI. Now, all this talk about commoditization, we have to remember in most industries, agencies merely act as a middleman for the software in delivering the service to the client. Now, what happens when the software makes the agency redundant for the productized type of offerings? For example, I own a Klaviyo agency, and in that specific industry, there is a lot of copy and paste of email automation between accounts. Now we're seeing softwares like Klaviyo making the agency redundant because you can just click a button and those features come out of the box. And that's going to be the same for all software because ultimately they want to benefit the end customer, and the agency erodes the value of the software because they have to pay additional fees on top to the service provider like us to deliver the same results. So really basic rudimentary strategy and tasks will just be automated by AI, and there's going to be no differentiation in delivering that and no reason really to sign up with an agency. And that leads me on to the second reason. If you're going to pursue a productized digital marketing agency, you're already really competing on a race to the bottom and based on a velocity of how many leads you can generate, sales you can close. Now the churn is going to be exponentially higher because as the software releases these features to make the agency redundant, then the brands or the people, the clients who are paying for the services are going to question the value more than ever. So it's already a volatile business model that requires a lot of scale and lead generation to make it work. It's going to be increasingly difficult to scale these companies when the lifetime value just doesn't make sense in regards to the unit economics. So competing solely on price is a really poor business model. And I only see these type of agencies going in one direction. It's just going to be a race to the bottom, and it's not going to be worth pursuing for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially given all the headaches that will entail at that type of scale. The third reason is there's going to be better and more profitable ways to distribute your knowledge if you're a true expert and specialist. The main constraint and bottleneck for really good freelancers and people who enter the agency world is getting past the friction of, well, I'm not going to do the work anymore and somebody else is going to deliver it for me. And that causes an identity crisis as you go from expert or technician to business owner. And a lot of agency owners really struggle with this because inevitably the quality of the work is not going to be the same as when you were doing it. And as a result, a lot of them fail to grow their companies because they're not able to democratize their knowledge and build good systems in place to disseminate that knowledge and deliver it to the team, as well as ultimately the clients who often sign up for that methodology or that core expertise from the founder. The better way to deliver that is going to be in the form of digital assets because the profit margins are 90% plus. The infrastructure is really low maintenance and there's no limitations to scale. It can be delivered by you and a really small agile team. It doesn't require an army of staff, and it's just a way less painful business model than trying to grow with a bunch of clients, have all the issues with managing team, churn, etc. So I just can't see any reason why, if you were an expert looking to optimize the quality of your life as well as profit, then it makes more sense to invest in creating digital assets, building an audience, and then distributing these at scale. Just my opinion. The fourth one is really interesting, and Chris Walker talked about this on a podcast that we did recently, and that is a lot of SaaS companies typically use agencies to deliver value in their software, deliver the service, right? But they're losing the intellectual property and learnings from just giving that work to agencies. So maybe there will be a service layer on top of the SaaS that again reduces the need for the agency. It could arguably be a revenue expansion opportunity for SaaS. And you might say, well, they could have done this before, they never have. But if you look at the way software is changing with the barrier to entry just being so low, you could even make a good argument to say, well, that's going to be an element of differentiation. It's not just about who provides the software, it's about who provides the best customer experience and service to help the customer win. And inevitably, that will mean a lot of software companies have to deliver some sort of service as an adjunct to their core product. So that's a really interesting one. And I think it's a threat. I think you've seen some softwares do this, especially around enterprise clients. It wouldn't surprise me if they went a lot more mid market, which is where agencies rarely grow their businesses small to medium size. Small businesses under threat from AI, mid sized businesses, maybe a service layer coming from SaaS. In fact, I'm really sure there will be in a lot of industries. And the final point is tied to what I mentioned previously. It's just going to make more sense to build a lot of leverage around your personal brand. And I'm biased, obviously. I have a content marketing agency helping founders develop a personal brand. But if you just look at the unit economics of the business model, why would you put so much effort into growing an agency with all the pain that entails, especially at scale, when for most people optimizing for lifestyle and just overall profitability, you can build an audience, you can scale it, and then you can distribute products and really maintain your integrity and peace of mind of being a true expert with a super high profit margin and good quality of life. Just something to consider. So there are five reasons why I think productized agencies really face a bleak future. What's the solution to this? Well, I recommend heavily investing in personal brand, niching down on expert knowledge, and then building an ecosystem of digital assets as well as community around that personal brand. It's got no limitations on scale, delivering it, and ultimately it's way more profitable, and you're probably going to be a lot happier. So think about that when it comes to growing and scaling your agency. Do you agree? Am I talking nonsense? Let me know. Would love to hear your opinion.